What's up, everybody? I'm your host, Big Love, and this is Big Love's Breakdown. I'm just going to get right to it. I'll let you know up front, I got a lot of these matches wrong in my prediction video, so here we go. Kickoff show was Mojo Rawley versus Kurt Hawkins. I didn't watch this match. I know Mojo wins. The first match on the main card is Mickie James versus Becky Lynch. What a great match this was. These two wrestled a very technical match. At the beginning of the match, they get into a collar and elbow tie-up, and neither will give ground. They end up spilling to the outside before they declare it a stalemate. Mickie James actually works on Becky Lynch's arm a lot in this match, which was kind of a change of pace because Becky normally works on the arm. Becky Lynch kicks out of a Mick kick, and before she actually gets DDT'd by Mickie James, she counters into a disarmer. Mickie James counters the disarmer. Becky Lynch counters the counter into a jackknife roll-up for the 1-2-3. Becky Lynch wins. Not mad I was wrong about this match. I'm a huge Becky Lynch fan. Congrats to both of these girls for putting on an amazing opening match. The next match is Kalisto and Apollo Cruz versus Dolph Ziggler. Nothing too big to report here. Kalisto gets attacked before the match by Dolph. It's pretty much a one-on-one until Kalisto hobbles out. He looks like he's injured, but when he gets the tag from Apollo Cruz, it's like he was rejuvenated by the tag because he's just a house of fire. They double-team Dolph Ziggler. Apollo gets the sit-out powerbomb for the 1-2-3. Apollo Crews and Kalisto win this match. After the match, Dolph Ziggler attacks them both. They need to give Dolph a more popular face to feud with because the heel turn just isn't sitting with the fans. We don't care that he's a heel. We like him better than the faces he's being paired up with, so give him somebody better. Tag Team Turmoil was next. Nothing special here. The tag team division on Smackdown is terrible. It starts out with Heath Slater and Rhino versus Breezango. It ends up being Rhino and Heath Slater over them. Next up was the Vaudevillains. Heath Slater and Rhino beat the Vaudevillains really quickly. Next up was Heath Slater and Rhino versus the Usos. The Usos end up getting the win over Heath Slater and Rhino. Next up is American Alpha and the Usos. This was probably the best part of Tag Team Turmoil. I wish this would have just been the match instead of all the other teams involved. It ends up being American Alpha getting over the Usos, but the Usos attack American Alpha after the match, leaving them pretty much for the pickings for the Ascension. Eventually, Chad Gable gets the tag. Grand Amplitude 1-2-3. American Alpha retains in Tag Team Turmoil. Nothing special here, guys. I'm not going to go on and on about all these teams. It's a weak division. American Alpha was obviously going to win this match. I don't see them putting the tag belts on anybody else in the division, at least not right now. Nikki Bella versus Italia. I wasn't excited for this match. During the whole match, Nikki Bella's trying to prove she can out-wrestle Italia. It just looks slow and very scripted. Nikki Bella goes for leg locks, arm bars, and heel hooks. It doesn't look like she got a lot of repetition with this, and she's not very comfortable doing this. It was very weird. I don't know why this match went for 15 minutes if it's going to end in a double countout. I hate that about pay-per-view matches. Give us a true winner in this, and then if you want the feud to continue the feud. There's no harm in that, but we get a double count out at a pay-per-view match. Randy Orton and Luke Harper. This was a great match. Luke Harper does not squander his opportunities when they're given to him, as rare as they are. He sees the opportunity here. He might sell people's moves better than anybody else in the rest of the SmackDown locker room. Randy Orton goes for his traditional backdrop onto the announce table. Luke Harper rolls out of it, knocking out two of the announce teams, or at least making them scatter. It's a lot of back and forth. Randy Orton RKO out of nowhere. He wins the match. Check this match out. I kind of figured Orton would get over, but he made Luke Harper look very good in this match, and Luke Harper made himself look good in this match. He deserves a bigger spotlight, even if it's just a mid-card Intercontinental run. He deserves more than being a backdrop to the Wyatts, that's for sure. So after that match backstage, Nikki Bella's being interviewed, and then she's attacked from behind by Natalya as usual lately. Nikki Bella ends up getting pushed into Maurice, which I think is that's just setting up Nikki Bella and John Cena versus The Miz and Maurice at WrestleMania. Alexa Bliss and Naomi for the Smackdown Women's Championship. I said this on many occasions. I think Naomi is a great athlete. She might be the best athlete on the Women's Smackdown roster. She showed her athletic skills many times in this match. Springboards, blockbusters off the top rope, Hurricane Ranas, all sorts of stuff. Alexa Bliss was no slouch in this match either. She had a twisting arm drag into a pin. The end of this match was kind of sloppy. Alexa Bliss is supposed to move out of the way from the split-legged moonsault, but it doesn't look like she actually gets out the way. And Naomi's acting as if she's hurt. Then she gets rolled up for a very bad roll-up by Alexa Bliss with her foot on the ropes. The referee stops the count at 2 because he sees the feet on the ropes. And then Alexa Bliss goes for her finisher off the top rope. I forgot what it's called. It's Sweet Bliss or something. Naomi puts her feet up. Then she gets the split-legged moonsault. Naomi gets the 1, 2, 3. She's the new SmackDown Women's Champion. Congratulations, Naomi. You deserve this. This match should have got more time. I'm not sure if they're just not confident with these two running a longer match or what the case may be. I was actually shocked that Alexa Bliss lost because she's been on the receiving end of the split-legged moonsault multiple times, and normally the person that's being dominated for weeks going into a big match is the one that comes out on top. This was not the case this time. I thought maybe they would have saved Naomi's championship win for WrestleMania. So I pretty much just wanted to get to this Elimination Chamber match because it was amazing. Before I talk about the actual Chamber match, I just want to talk about the new setup of the Chamber and the things I noticed. The Chamber's more square now than it was before. So the Chamber's actually taller. People can stand on the top of the pods much more easily now because they have the headroom. Also, the pods seem to be a little more sturdier. They're actually square now instead of the oval circle shape. Also, on the outside of the ring, how it used to be steel grate, it looks like they actually put wrestling mats like they do on the outside of the actual ring. So before I get into some key spots of this match, you should know that everybody ends up in the Elimination Chamber technically before anybody's eliminated. So I'll go through the order of how everybody came out. The match starts off with John Cena and AJ Styles. Then Dean Ambrose is released. Then Bray Wyatt is released. Baron Corbin is 5th. And The Miz is last. AJ and John Cena have a typical good match. Nothing too special before Dean's released from the pod. Ambrose threw AJ and John Cena into the walls of the chamber early and often in this match. Ambrose actually gets on top of his pod probably a minute after he was released. And so he just goes crazy from the jump. He seemed excited to be in this pod. Some people seem a little timid. He looked right at home. When Bray Wyatt is actually released, he's like a house of fire as well. At one point, AJ Styles hooks him in between the steel post and the ring ropes and does a leg drop to him from the inside of the ring onto the outside. You could tell that it was mats because you don't hear the normal clash of the steel like you used to in Elimination Chamber matches. So they worked on the outside a lot more than in normal Elimination Chamber matches. I mean, they still do in other chamber matches, but this time it seemed like a majority of the match was spent on the outside, or at least the big spots were spent on the outside. AJ Styles and John Cena end up climbing one of the sides of the chamber, and they end up fighting each other, both acting like they're going to fall multiple times before John Cena actually takes a spill. And it actually, despite the fact that there's mats now instead of steel grate, still looked like it hurt. And like I said, the chamber is taller now, so when you fall, it's actually a further drop than before. One of the crazy spots in this match was Dean Ambrose was trying to powerbomb Bray Wyatt when he was on the second rope. And AJ Styles actually gets on the top rope and starts headbutting Bray. As Dean Ambrose is powerbombing Bray Wyatt, Bray grabs AJ by the throat and overhead suplex throws him. Combination powerbomb, overhead suplex, crazy spot in the match, amazing. When Baron Corbin gets released from his pod, he goes crazy. Everybody is just being destroyed by him. AJ Styles and John Cena both get the end of days. Nobody goes for the pin on them. Dean Ambrose and Baron Corbin go back and forth. It was violent between those two. They were just throwing each other into the side of the chamber, throwing each other into the pods that were empty. So as I said, all 6 participants enter the chamber before anyone is eliminated technically. The Miz is standing in his pod as it's his turn to come out, and Baron Corbin's just waiting for him. Dean rolls Baron up for the 1, 2, 3. And Baron Corbin loses his mind and assaults Dean Ambrose after his elimination. Baron Corbin throws him through one of the pods, and then he gives him the end of days before The Miz actually cowers into the chamber for the 1, 2, 3. Dean Ambrose is eliminated basically because of Baron Corbin's beatdown. So The Miz has a moment here where it's pretty much him just mocking Daniel Bryan before John Cena ends up giving him the AA. 1, 2, 3. The Miz is eliminated. AJ and Bray form a quick bond or quick union where they attack John Cena for a moment before Bray Wyatt eventually starts attacking AJ Styles. John Cena then proceeds to climb on top of what was the Miz's pod and jump off the top for a cross-body block on both of them. It looks like he hurt himself just as much as he hurt them. When he finally makes his way to his feet, Bray Wyatt gives him the Sister Abigail. John Cena is eliminated, so we're guaranteed to have a new champ between AJ and Bray Wyatt. These two go back and forth before hitting a bunch of their traditional maneuvers. This was a great back and forth. I wouldn't mind seeing this match in the future, Bray Wyatt and AJ Styles. Eventually, AJ Styles gets hit with the Sister Abigail. 1, 2, 3. Bray Wyatt is your new WWE champion. After the match, Randy Orton comes out, kind of looks at Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt deserves this. He has been with the WWE for a few years now and has pretty much taken a back seat to titles for his storylines. This is going to be a great Mania match. The story alone is going to be the intriguing factor, because what could come between Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton? The WWE Championship. So other than the Elimination Chamber match, the Luke Harper and Randy Orton match, and the opening match between Becky Lynch and Mickie James, this pay-per-view was kind of meh. A lot of down matches here. It was a lot of filler to get to the good stuff. Naomi and Alexa Bliss wasn't bad, but it was short and kind of sloppy at the end. But these other matches were terrible in my opinion, or they just had no real meaning to them. I think this is probably one of the best Elimination Chamber matches ever. It is one of my Match of the Year candidates. Early on, though, obviously. So tell me what you thought of the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. Do you think this Elimination Chamber match was one of the best? Tell me in the comments below. Hey, like my video, subscribe to my channel, and tell all your friends about this. Share on all the social media. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Until next time, this is Big Love's Breakdown. I got 2 words for you. Stay tuned.